Taking a video for you.
Yeah.
There's, let me see, I have not. There's chai. There's lemon drop. There's one of the babies. There's lemon drop's daughter.
Hi guys, today I am part of a collaboration with Not a Farm Girl and several other channels, so I will have their links in the description below. So the name of this collaboration is Dear Younger Me, the Homestead version. The advice I would give to my younger self is this. First, slow down. When you get onto your property, you need to watch it for a year before you put anything permanent in. Anything that isn't already there, don't put anything else in. Everything at this point needs to probably be temporary. No permanent structures, no permanent fences. Don't put in your permanent garden. Instead, find some other way to get your food planted and taken care of for the year. Sometimes big portable container gardens are really nice because you can just compost that material afterwards. You can move them to where you need to. You can protect them. They are impermanent because that first year that you're homesteading, you're learning what happens with your water, you're learning what happens with your pests, with your trees, with your soil, with your family. You're learning everything that first year about your land. So give yourself a year before you plant any new trees or anything. The second thing I would say is, once again, slow down. Don't let the hype of what's happening in the news, don't let the hype of what's happening in the world around you scare you into doing unwise things, like spending too much money on a project that you think will give you security. Instead, have some common sense, which we were severely lacking in when we first started on our larger homestead, our 1.5 acres that we have in Idaho. We used every penny of tax returns to put in the things that we were worried we would absolutely have to have if the world stopped. And if the world really did stop, if you don't have the skills to use those tools, they won't do you any good. So why spend all your money on them? I think instead it's much wiser to just have a wide range of things that you invest in when you first get into your homestead, things that are more about your family and less about the property itself, if that makes sense. If you do want to spend money, spend it on a few seeds here and there, spend it on 1 or 2 chickens and a nicer chicken coop that can be moved. I know that one of the things that really made a difference to me in our first homestead was when things looked pretty. And when I had a little bit of money come my way, I went and bought a chicken coop that I thought was absolutely the cutest thing. I spent $250 on it, but it was movable, it was pretty, and it made me feel like the chickens didn't detract from my homestead. Instead, they brought more beauty to my homestead. So little things like that, if you have a little extra money, invest it in things that are quality but are movable. The last thing that I would want to say is take care of your family. Make sure you're eating enough. Again, it comes down to the projects taking over your life. Don't let the projects take over your life to the point where you're not eating. And don't let the projects take over your life to the point where you're not enjoying your kids, you're not enjoying this time with them, and instead it's always the drill sergeant who's wanting to get projects done. Make sure that the projects are appropriate for the ages of your children, and don't kill yourself, don't beat yourself up if you're not getting it done as fast as you want it to be done. Dave Ramsey, the Financial Peace University, that kind of thing, I think it's very wise to stick to those principles when you're homesteading, because it will save your sanity later when you're looking back and thinking, how could I have spent so much money on this project and it still doesn't work? It took me 5 years to get my watering system set up to the point that it could support life and not be too expensive to use. And I probably spent a couple $1,000s on it, and I had to reinvent the wheel in order to use my canal water without having things clog. I was very careful about the way that I set my watering system up. First I used free, then I spent tiny amounts of money, and then when I figured out how it was actually going to work and that it was working, then I went out and spent all the money I needed to make it work. So, things you learn. observe, observe, observe. So thank you to Laura Lee for allowing me to be part of this collaboration, and make sure to check out the list of people below who are part of it, and we'll talk to you later. This is what feeds us. When we have lots of ducks in the fall eating all the crab apples, it is the best duck you've ever had in your life. Everything else is either still blossoming or already blossomed. All the pears have been fertilized. We have gooseberries on the gooseberries. Everything is looking really well, and I love this tree and it smells so good.